The government's IR changes close to getting the support they need to get through the parliament. Joining me is the Chief of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Andrew McKellar. Andrew, great to see you as always. One of the areas that the Greens have been pushing is this so-called right to disconnect. Are you worried about where this is going if the government's got the deal with the Greens for businesses that have allowed people to be more flexible, to work from home, now to have this red tape thrown at them? Is this incongruous?
Oh, absolutely, Kieran. I think this is an area, it's a thought bubble that's come from the Greens, and honestly, it looks to us like an attempt to legislate for something that should be common sense. Of course, we are concerned if it leads to a situation where there's a risk of more litigation or there's a much higher compliance burden for business in an environment where we should be working more flexibly.
We have out of COVID.
Exactly. We've come out of the pandemic. We're seeing people wanting to work more time from home. They want to get a better balance in terms of work and family and other parts of their lives. Really, what we don't want is a situation where you have something that starts to put a straitjacket around the way businesses can operate, rather than saying, let's promote flexibility. Let's ensure that, of course, employees need to have that time, that flexibility, that balance in their lives, but let's not try to regulate for something that honestly should be able to be worked out practically between bosses and their employees.
If you did that, would it damage productivity?
I think it could be damaging for productivity, and certainly it adds to the compliance burden that's there. It adds to the risk environment for business. It means you are going to be less attracted to taking on workers. So I think from that point of view, it's a very dumb idea.
So it could have a chilling effect in that employment sense as well?
It's a dumb idea, and really it's not practical. It's not going to be workable. I think the greatest extent this can be watered down, diluted, then the better it will be.
So you'll be hoping to see this watered down dramatically in the final arrangement. What's your overall view of where the government's landing on IR? I guess you're never going to be entirely happy with this set of changes, but is it becoming more palatable from what you're hearing and seeing?
Well, we will never be happy with it. We don't think it's good legislation. We think it's fundamentally flawed. It will add significantly to the compliance burden. It won't make it easier to employ people, and it will do nothing for productivity. If you want to increase wages, if you want to increase real wages, you have to have productivity growing. So those are the problems. Look, we know that it's moving towards some sort of solution. The good thing, I think, is we are seeing that the crossbenchers, David Pocock, Jackie Lambie and others are in there really holding the government to account, really pushing for better outcomes.
So they're being constructive from a business perspective?
From what we're seeing, they're engaged, they're being constructive, they're making some progress, so we encourage them to keep going and let's see where we end up.
But overall, the warning is that this is going to not boost productivity, it's going to damage it at a time when we've seen off the back of the last couple of decades a steady decline in productivity in this country.
Well, I mean, we're making progress on the inflation front, but if the government says that it wants to get wages moving. If you want to get wages moving sustainably, you have to have productivity. This bill does nothing to generate productivity growth.
Andrew McKellar from the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.